So first thoughts really, and of course if you would comment on the future of the India-U.S. relations. We have had a continuity, we have had of course a bipartisan support as well, but Modi and Trump have had a bonhomie as well, particularly on trade and immigration. How do you think the immediate future negotiation would be like?
Well, I think, first of all, we're seeing the, live pictures of the inauguration ceremony happening in the Capitol right now. The Vice President-elect J.D. Vance has just been introduced. Trump will follow shortly, and you see a kind of stellar cast of characters there in the background watching in attendance, including from the tech sector, a lot of U.S. CEOs. But increasingly, quite unusually, for the first time really, we have foreign visitors as well, officials from different countries. Largely, a lot of attention on Chinese participation. The Vice President of China, who is ranked 7th in the Politburo Standing Committee, is in attendance. A lot of other elected and opposition politicians from other countries who are ideologically aligned with Trump. So Prime Minister Giorgia Meloni is there. From Italy, Javier Milei, the president of Argentina, but also, of course, the Quad foreign ministers are there as a signal of the strategic importance of these relationships, including India. So I think that is an early indication that the Trump administration is keen on developing a positive relationship with India and will take forward these strategic relations. Now, you alluded to some differences, and I think those differences will come to the fore in the immediate weeks and months, perhaps even days. So we'll have differences over trade and tariffs. Trump believes that India enjoys a large trade deficit, trade surplus with the U.S. The U.S. has a trade deficit with India, and that he wants to fix that, and he will use tariffs amongst other tools as a negotiating tactic to, in his view, get more equitable terms. A second issue, as you mentioned, is on immigration, both undocumented migrants from India and other countries, and also legal, reforming. This will take longer and be a bit more difficult, but reforming some of the legal architecture around legal migration from India and many other countries to the U.S. So these issues will have direct implications for India. I anticipate some very tough negotiations in the weeks and months ahead. The nominee for Secretary of State, Marco Rubio, has made the Quad his first order of business. So he's expected to have a meeting tomorrow, Tuesday, with the first, really his first official engagement, and he's expected to be confirmed as Secretary of State later today. Will be with the Quad. And so I think it shows really a high priority that they're placing on the Quad. Now, what issues the Quad will focus on under Trump remains to be seen. I expect there'll be some continuity with what Biden has done, but many areas of disruptions, perhaps a more explicit maritime focus, perhaps some issues like clean energy will go lower down the agenda if they're on the agenda at all. So I think the first meeting will really be to see what areas of commonality and interest will emerge within the Quad. On Elon Musk, he actually hosted a delegation of Indian businesses, Indian CEOs just a few days ago. And so I think that indicates to him a high degree of interest in engaging with India and looking for business opportunities in India. So I expect he will come, but he has such diversified business interests, whether it's Tesla, SpaceX, X, Twitter. Which areas he sees the most interest? Obviously, from India's point of view, part of Make in India is to focus on manufacturing. So I think that's where India will want to see a lot. But I expect the next 1 to 2 years will be a very promising time for US-India space cooperation in general. And so SpaceX will be at the forefront of that.